Hey guys, my name is Ravizza, and behind me here is the very first van that I ever built. In this video, I'm going to take you on a quick tour and also share the story of how I got to where I am today. This is what started everything about 4 years ago, and I've come a long way since then. It's really cool to have it back in my possession, and I'm excited to do some, current renovations to it and get it back on the market and into one of your guys' hands. If you're interested in purchasing this for yourself, I have the link below. Feel free to send me a message. All right, without further ado, let's go check this thing out. Right when you open up the slider, you instantly get a feel for this van. You notice the shower that's behind the passenger seat and also the matching tile behind the sink. So I went with this cool hex white tile, and at the time, that was one of the coolest things you could do. I still like it and it's held up great, so I'm not gonna change that. Inside this shower is the same Moen shower head that I use to this day, and it has a little wand on it as well. And then just a nice Rec Pro shower pan and a 15-gallon gray tank underneath the van. The gray tank is also on an electric ball valve, so you don't have to go under the van to release the gray tank. When you walk in the van, I added a lot of space right here, and that's so I can have this nice flip-up counter. This just extends your counter space by almost 2 feet, and it's so nice to have this slider door opened, all your stuff out, and you're just cooking here with a nice view. Whether you're parked by a lake or a river, doesn't matter. It's always a good time. And if you have friends, it's just such a good way to serve up the friends any drinks or food from here. So right here I have a dual burning induction cooktop, and this pulls about 1800 watts, and that's plenty to cook whatever you're going to be cooking. And then below that I have the Dometic CRX 110, and this is a nice sized fridge for two, and it has a little freezer up top as well. Right here we have a full standing closet. The top part opens up and you can have a bunch of clothes in there. And then I have a total of 4 drawers ranging in size from small up top to pretty big down below for your pots and pans. Right across from the closet we have the sink area, and this is just, a basic sink area. We got the sink, the faucet, and then above that we have an upper cabinet with extra storage, kind of acting as a pantry. I also put an outlet in there. Below the sink is a ton of storage, so this one is actually completely open and free to have whatever you want in there. You can even put like a toilet on slides in here if you'd like. You could store almost anything you want under this. And now we're in the back of the van in the lounge area, and I've actually done this same lounge configuration with little modifications in every van that I've ever built. So I'm on build number 6 right now, and nothing is changing. I'm still doing the happy jack above me and the lounge area below. I personally love it. It just opens up so much space for having friends in here and entertaining, and also having complete separation from where you sleep and where you want to hang out. This build I actually did a full queen length bed, so up top is full queen mattress. I didn't even have to cut it down, and that makes the benches below also queen length. Each bench is 24 inches wide, so you can just take the backrests off, throw them down below, and you can sleep a kid on each bench down below if you'd like to do that as well. Here we have a table on a lagoon swivel, and this just gives you tons of freedom to have this any way you want. You can also take it apart and move it out of the way and stow it behind the driver's seat. Another cool feature in this lounge is the sound system. So originally I had the JBL 9.1 sound system with a 10-inch subwoofer, and the client actually took it and uses it in his house for movies. And since I got it back, I have the soundbar that's going to be going into my new build. Just temporarily, I took this on a road trip and I wanted like a sweet sound system for my road trip. But this van won't be coming with this soundbar in particular. If you would like one, I'll just have to throw that on top of the cost, and we can get you any soundbar you want. Obviously this one is the best, and you don't need to go as crazy as this guy. When the bed is all the way down, it does feel like a different room entirely, and there's a skylight in the back covered with ferns, and at the time, I thought it was like an earth portal to the outside world. when you're looking up, and it's still kind of nice. I think though in the end I'm going to take these ferns down and add like a Roman clay piece of wood paneling and frame out that skylight, and I think that'll look really cool. But the skylight does pop off and you can hop onto the roof if you'd like. In the driver's side bench I have 42 gallons of fresh water, a 4-gallon Bosch hot water heater, and then some storage over here as well. I also have the gas powered Webasto heater, which keeps the van warm enough, you know, when it's really cold out. And then on the passenger side, we have 600 amp hours of SOK lithium batteries. I have a 3000 watt Renogy inverter charger, so you can plug into shore power, and that gives you 120 volt to your outlets. And then also I have a 60 amp Renogy DC to DC charger, so we could charge off the alternator. On the roof is 400 watts of solar and also the max fan, and I have a little slider window on the passenger side so you can open it up and get cross breeze throughout the whole van, especially when you're sleeping and it's, you know, pretty warm out. So why did I build this van? If I go back, I was traveling a lot. I was about 20 years old and I wanted to do my visa in Australia, and I was actually filling that out, and that's kind of when the world shut down. And I wasn't going to give up that traveling and that lifestyle, so I weighed my options, and I saw the van market obviously was all over the place, and it's kind of when it took off. And I just decided that I was going to spend a year and I was going to save up $50,000, and then when it came around to it, I actually pulled the trigger on the van and moved down to San Diego after meeting some really cool people online, and they all helped me out. It was such an amazing experience, and I even got to be in one of the shops from a girl named Kenzie, and then Shaden, my friend, is the one who kind of introduced me to everyone, and that's just what opened up the world of van building for me. And I spent about 4 months in a shop down in San Diego building this out alongside Kenzie. She was doing her projects, I was doing mine. It was really cool to be able to see all of the correct tools to use, materials, and concepts. So I had a lot of a head start just by having the people around me. They were always innovating and doing some crazy idea or concept, testing new ways of doing things. And just being around that was like definitely helpful in making this build, you know, the way it was built. Some of the people I can think of on the top of my head that were just in my orbit at the time was Brandon Buckley, Shaden Valentine, Kenzie West, Nick Kelly, and there was a few others for sure. I don't know if I was friends with Kirby Winson at the time. If I wasn't, then it was soon after that I was, but we were kind of all together at our friend's shop in SoCal, and he had SoCal Custom Vans. We would all like congregate there, and everyone was building their van, just trying to live on the road. It was super cool, and we were all sharing ideas and concepts. After I finished this build, I did take it on a trip to show my friends and my family, and the whole idea, right, was that I was going to hit the road and travel full time, and I did like doing that, except I put way too much money into this build. I went way over budget and had to get, you know, some credit to get this thing done. And having done that, I had to list this van. I guess I didn't have to, but I did. And I actually ended up selling it. So I sold this van. 2 days later, I bought a brand new Sprinter van, and that's what led to my second van build. And then also, I mean, just in building this one too, I did grow a love and a passion for building. So it was kind of like a direction for me when maybe before I was a little directionless. And now fast forward 4 years and I basically build full time. But I do love taking my vans out on trips with friends, because I would say 90% of my friends as an adult live on the road. So stepping outside of the van, you can see I have full windows on the passenger side, and there's none on the driver's side. That's so if you're parked like on the road, you'll have some privacy from cars driving by. And then from here down, you can see I added Raptor liner, and that's just a clean look that I liked. And also, if you're going through and you hit any brush, it's not going to damage the paint. I recently added all new tires, and there's only about 500 miles on these. So you got new tires on this van as well. And then I also replaced the air conditioning compressor inside of the engine for the cab area. I forgot to mention the front area. So this is just the front of the Ram ProMaster, seating for 2. And to block off the front area, we have this full curtain to create separation from the front and rear of the cab. Again, if you are interested in this build, just send me a message through the link below. And then if you want any additions and personal touches based off of what you saw in this van, just leave that in the message below and I'll get back to you on what that would cost. Thank you guys for watching. Again, I am Lucas Ravizza, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace. Guys, quick update on the van. Today I sprayed my cabinet.